Welcome back to Indian Trace. Here's the preface. Because yesterday had a lot to do with the rocks you're looking at right this second, the North American Indian artifacts, I started with this because I'm not going to come back to these. I have got 7 trays wide open. There was a request that came in. Somebody wrote a message to me and said, can you do a slow tour of the display box you always talk about? Some of the other ones are like that. But I'm going to try to do a slow tour. I'm not going to talk a whole lot. If I can get it all in there, I'm trying. I'm really high right now. So I'm going to do a fly through just to try to give a quiet, full tour of about 800 of my collector's pieces. And it may look crowded, but I just lay them out. I always have room to move in or move out and just sort of try to work it that way. And I'm just going to try to go around and give you a slow tour, just as if you were a little fly on the wall, flying around. And I'm hoping it'll all come in. And as we go around, I might make some comments, what have you, but here's to the request to give a slow tour of the Indian Trace 7-tray display box. It has some scrapers down here. Big natural light in here today, so hopefully, we're down in a box here. Tackle box. Some other scrapers. And I told them I would just go ahead and try it to see what I could do. Because the inside look, nobody gets to see what you're seeing. And I'll make my effort just to do the best I can. Any questions you have about any of the artifacts you see in here, feel free to just give a shout out. And as I said, I continually update, organize, rearrange by grouping. But just a fun walkabout, if you will. Because I always make mention of it, as many who tune into Indian Trace know. And now you get to see. Because in totality, it's something that's a work, constant work. It means it's always changing. It's always room to rearrange things and consider things. We have some of the bigger quartz down in the bottom. Some of these quartz are so big that they pretty much 2-3 points would fill up a bin. Look at these quartz down here. Many points that you've seen on Indian Trace. Now I also have the bottom where you keep the smaller lures in this stationary tray that holds its place station. But I'll give you a slow tour. Flyby, if you will. And many different reasons why people tune into channels. Here on Indian Trace, some great quality artifacts, and I hope some good, solid political advice and exposure to avenues that you can do your own research and find some political help. Got my LaCroix down here to answer your questions in your life and for your life and family. And look at here. I've got a bin here that features lots of different scrapers. I'm going to try to go slower because as we go further up, you're going to see quality change. I've got things rearranged in different ways. Scrapers. Good pieces in there. Look at those 2 drills. Mercy, right? And if any of you guys are fishermen out there, this will be a kick for you. A big bin down here in the bottom full of sugar quartz. this piece of sheer quartz, this Guilford from Hidden Hill. You know, what can I say? Hopefully what will come across most on Indian Trace is that I'm usually floored by these, very thankful, super thankful. I never imagined being able to gain or amass a collection such as I do, and I've been, you know, Indian Trace, I've been hand over fist trying to share it and give as much away as I can, and always open to a good trade, a good solid trade or what have you. Crystal, some of the older quality pieces or different types, just a different nature on the rock of some of these pieces. As you can hear really well how the rocks sound against each other. Some of you guys who really made a comment about it, I've never had a piece chipped, broken. I find no little scars of rock on the bottom of these bins. Piece from the garden right here, just crazy. And so for right now it works. Most of all, the reason that you're seeing all this like this is because of security. When it comes to security, sort of anal about that. Smaller bin up top. Yep, Marl Mountains. Some smaller, top quality quartz. There might have been one person, now I have a couple relatives that got to check it out, but one person on the face of this earth who's got to go through this and just handle them, and I'm all for it. It's fine with me. But, as you know, our collections, they're pretty private. If it wasn't for YouTube or what have you, we really, some of our collections would never ever been seen. Look at this, will you? So I'm just going to take an extra special little time. If a story comes up, you know. Look at this stuff. Quartz has got colors. This came from Deer Pass. Some of these sites, literally, haven't been open in a year. It's not that they closed them down, it's that they rotate so differently through production and agriculture. Just have to be on guard and looking out for things. Great natural lighting in here, isn't there? Great top quality bins here. This point from Hidden Hill. Favorite point here from Mecca. The coloring. This is a pinkish type of stone. If I can get it in there. Look at these two. I see something happening here, so just hang out with me for a second here. Should we start at the bottom? Yeah, it's fine. You're seeing a lot of rhyolite, of course. Of course, now we're going through the longest bin at the bottom. You know, that long sort of storage bin at the bottom of these tackle boxes is filled with my Guilfords. My top Guilfords. I give the rest away if I can. Nice Guilford Yuma here from the garden. Smoking awesome Guilford Yuma right here from Crystal Beach. I mean, would you look at that? It's a nice place for it to rest. Then we can just turn down the street and look down each street. Triangle type pieces. And you can see, if you have a good eye, there's room. There's a lot of room here for points and stuff. But I'm pretty particular with the points that I keep here for different reasons. Here's this black point right here from Mecca. And I should have made a preface at the beginning to say that if checking out great quality ancient North American Indian artifacts from my region is, well, I don't even have to tell somebody to go ahead and move on. You know, you can always turn it off. Just going to make an effort for the request that came in. I have a small bin here that I keep my Guilfords in, my small Guilfords. It's full of them. Every bin can hold 25 points. I mean, it's crazy. It's a good, safe way to do it for me. I've heard a lot of comments. Only a couple negative, but a lot of great quality comments on it. Again, the question that came in before, they asked if they could see the lovely small Guilfords, if they could see the whole collection like this, is why? Number one, security. Security. I can barely stand the thought of having great frames framed up, and I could just, I mean, out of one bin like this with my small notch points. I mean, not a problem at all. But if somebody comes in, they're going to see some stuff that looks real valuable on the walls. And I have a feeling it'll be gone. And listen, when I'm away, the house is not secure. I don't have some big security system hooked up to. I don't actually trust in law enforcement to keep me safe, let alone calls law enforcement for you, a security system. So listen, if you're a criminal or whatever, you can rob a house easy. And then you're going to look for things that seem valuable to you. And, well, those frames off the wall would probably just disappear. Looking at points around here. This is a great point right here. Came from Sun Hill. Love that point, though. And you notice they're not some work of perfection, perfectly balanced off an assembly line. But these are designed to do what exactly they did, which was kill. Which was kill. I mean, take a look at this point, if I can get it out. They're not touching each other half as hard as sounds like. I mean, that's made right there to bring home the dinner. Hopefully this is doing the job of the request. I decided I would go ahead and finish. I'm almost finished, but I'm not going to bow down to time and just hurry because I think it's getting long. If you don't want to watch it, they can click it off. And some people, you know, they love it. They can spend a little time and check something out that you just cannot see. This is not something you can go, you can even get in a book. You can go somewhere and see what I'm showing you right here. It is rare. Rare, rare, rare. Look at these. These bins, with the points get smaller, hold a ton of great stuff. My word. Hopefully, I'm trying my best not to move too fast. All right, top. Funny thing about this is that this point here, I've never found another material like it. Never, never. When I found it, I barely even knew it the world, that it was unique. Found it at Crosslands. Just crazy. Can't even tell you what kind of material that is. All I know is it's smoking material. It's great stuff. Couple points here that are found. This is a serrated quartz bin, found at the same place. Yeah, it looks pretty full, but sometimes I have them jumbled up and I know that more will fit in there and more can come out and move around, and so I do it that way. These bins of small points are full. Full, full, full. Just a fun way to do it. And so I really appreciate the shout out that requested just to give a full tour of the display box that I have. Look at this Guilford right here on my finger. That is a Guilford. Mercy. And smoky quartz almost disappears right here. Small quartz pieces in there. So loud on the video, I'm sure. Look at those pieces, top quartz points right in there. As we finish up, variated materials. That's how I got it set up. I mean, you can look back down if I pan right out. It's crazy when you see it all together. Flaking and the coloring. It's a great piece from the garden. Another piece right here from the Vulture. Piece right here from Stonehill. And look at this bin to finish up. Rhyolite just goes on and on. It's a nice Marl Mountain for sure. Then look at this piece from Hidden Hill. Banded Rhyolite. So I guess the video worked out to be much longer than I thought, but I don't care. I'll go ahead and put it up, and if somebody wants the time, they can sit around, relax a little bit. Look at this point right here from Notchville. Just to see how I set things up. This will probably answer your question absolutely, completely. From Indian Trace to all of you out there, appreciate you tuning in, and I hope you find out there